Welcome to the first official Jawing with Jesse segment on the Power to the Ground Motocross Media Network. I've got Devin Harriman with me today, and I don't want to take up too much of his day, so I'm going to fly through some of these reads. For those of you watching this live, don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video. It really helps us out in the algorithms, helps new people find us. If there are any questions that you have for Devin, go ahead and drop them in the comment section, and we will circle back and read those at the end. And for those of you watching on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and hit that bell icon so you can get notified anytime we go live. If you are listening to this on audio, be sure to follow us or subscribe on whatever podcast platform you are listening to us on. Let's jump into some of these spots real quick. First off, Nova Pro Media, if you're doing any business online, you want to sell more, you want to start selling, new website, anything like that, jump over to novapro.media, book a call. They can help you out over there. If you are a hot sauce fan, jump over to brotacofoods.com, use coupon code PTTG, get 20% off. And of course, our good friends over at Sunstar Sprockets and Chains. If you need to get some work done on your bike, put some new stuff on there, go ahead, go to sunstar-braking.com, hit up the email support and mention Doug, PTTG, Devin, Doug, I already said that, Tiller, anybody, anything about Power to the Ground, and they will hook you up with 30% off over there. So let's jump right into it. Everybody, we've got Devin Harriman in the house.
How's it going, guys?
How you doing, man?
Doing well.
Yeah.
Just trying to recover and getting ready to get back into the groove of things, hopefully.
Cool. Yeah, how's the recovery going?
It's going good. Everything's kind of healing good. Trying to get the range of motion back, really. Just get that coming back, and then trying to still straighten my finger. As you see, it doesn't want to go as straight as it should, but it's a work in progress. So we're getting
rough,
there.
dude. That's rough.
Yeah, it was another surgery.
That's especially that part. So Doug from Sunstar, he also did something similar to that just a few weeks ago. He's been struggling with it, going through rehab and everything like that. What did you actually do? What was the actual break on there?
So I broke my radius in half, and then I did just the radius. And then when you do the radius and just the radius, it goes up and like goes in between the what's the other bone in there? I can't even remember off the. Is it the ulna? I think it is. But anyways,
yeah, I think
it goes up between there, and it just like tears a couple ligaments. It's called the like DURJ or something like that. Learning that all from the doctors lately. But anyways, tore those two ligaments in there, and then ended up breaking metacarpal 4 and 5 in my hand as well. So,
dude,
that's the
that sucks.
extent of that. Yeah, no, it does suck.
So what's your timeline looking like now?
Oh God, I have no idea. It's tough saying, just because so when I originally happened, I was down in Oklahoma, and I was dealing with a great doctor down there, Dr. Clayton Nelson. He was helping me out, and he's worked on a lot of us. He's worked on Austin Faulkner, myself, Trey Kennard, Bogle, pretty much all of us Rainer Boyds, and so he knows the drill. He knows how it is. He said just under 3 months, but I don't know where we're at now. We're at, I want to say, just over a month and a half. Tomorrow I think will be 6 weeks out from surgery.
Gotcha.
So, I don't know. I'm hoping I can get back on a bike in less than a month, 3 weeks roughly, middle of June, hopefully. But I don't know. It's hard saying.
What's your rehab looking like? Like, is it just physical therapy, or you doing any other kind of training to get it up, or?
So I'll do a lot of like they're not a huge fan of it, but I actually I took the brace off They gave me a pretty cool like splint that they formed for my arm and everything once I had surgery and everything. So I took that off. I want to say a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and was just running it right. Like as soon as they put me into physical therapy and gave me the a-okay to hop into some range of motion. I just took the whole thing off and tried to get it back as soon as I could. I made sure, like with both doctors, the doctor I got here in Washington and the doctor that I had in Oklahoma, I made sure this like I wasn't going to do any extra damage by taking it off. I didn't tell them I was going to take it off, but like I wasn't going to overdo it, you know. So I just tried as hard as I could just to get as much range of motion back as I could, you know. I'm just about there. And just in the range of motion. And then I just hit up I'm going to start training with a guy here named Evan Nystrom. He's got his own thing here. So I'm going to do some stuff with him. I'm very, how do you say this? Not self-motivated, you could say. I got to have somebody help me out.
Gotcha.
Give me a program and write some things down and let me know what I need to be doing. I'm not going to be a professional bodybuilder, so I'm not just going to go into the gym and pump weight and pump iron that I don't know what is actually it's doing for me. So I'm going to start working with him, get some cardio back going here. You know, like I said, I got a meeting with him tomorrow to go over everything and get back into it. I was on it hard for 6 months and I just decided to take a month off, you know, so we're going to start back up. Yeah, we're going to start back up Monday. And I guess you could say the vacation that happened when you're on break is over.
Yeah.
Kind of get back in the groove of things.
Well, that's first of all, it's awesome that you have the self-awareness about the self-motivated thing. That's a huge thing. As I've been through several injuries and rehabs and everything like that. It's like you got to listen to your own body, but you know, the self-awareness of knowing that self-motivation isn't there and needing somebody else to kind of structure that work. Yeah. That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, no. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it was you in the comments here. It says that I just started on the road bike. Like, I don't even have that motivation, you know? And I know that, and I'm not like, I got no issue admitting it. It's been like that my whole life. I've never, the last 2 years I put in effort, you know, and work ethic off the bike at Raynard's. And it's shown in the last 2 years, you know, so just kind of a bummer. I'm like, oh, maybe I should have done that sooner. But if I did that sooner, I don't think I'd still be doing it, you know. It's a grind. A lot of people don't understand the grind until they actually do it. You know, like, oh, riding on the weekends is one thing, but when you're riding on the weekends and you're also riding 3 days during the week, and then you go from the riding and you go to the gym, you know, or you do, like, Raynard's has been tough. Like this year, I should say, like, I mean, we'd ride, you know, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, or whatever the days were, and then we'd go to the gym, right? Or a lot of times it's actually gym at 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, the gym's an hour from where we were at, you know? So we do that, and then we do a 45-minute run, you know? But there's times where we do a 45-minute run right as soon as we're done riding. You know, you got pretty much 30 minutes to gear down and get back into your running stuff to go run, and then you got to get your run done. You got 50 minutes to get your 45-minute run done, and then you got to get in your truck and you got to, you know, haul back down into town and go to the gym and see Angus. So there's times where it ain't fun and it's not enjoyable. There's not a lot of time, you know, to really do anything else. And when there is time, you're just kind of, you know, take it in and relax. But I don't have that in me to do it solo. So I got to have somebody to help me.
It's a grind. That's for sure.
It is.
That is a grind.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Other than that, everything's been good.
Let's shift gear from I feel like you're a little somber with the rehab stuff, which is completely understandable. You're a racer.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Striders to Riders thing you got going on.
So that's something like I got hurt in 16.
Yeah.
2016. I blew my knee out in Europe at that Supercross thing. I was down for like a year almost. And I was working for a kid named Preston Baselug, little guy that's, I don't know, some of you guys probably know. I think Doug might know who he is just because he's a Sunstar rider as well. Uh, but no, I was working for him full time, like mechanic, everything like that, just because I'd quit my job to go racing in Europe and then I got hurt and I wasn't able to go back. I was working HVAC. So I was like, okay, well, I got to figure something out. So I was doing that. And then uh, I just had a bunch of parents asking, "Hey, you want to train my kid? Would you train my kid?" You know, and it started out just as a yeah, like yeah, I can do that. Um, it was whenever they hit me up or whatever, and then stopped working for Preston. I just decided to do the training thing full time, and it's actually worked out pretty well. I didn't start now it's all legit. It's like I got a business license, website, everything like that. So everything's legit now with the thing with the Striders to Riders. At first, like I said, I just started doing it on the side, and then it became a full time thing. And then I was like, 25 years old, 24 years old at the time. I was like, I don't want to be 30 years old trying to buy a house, and then have to wait 2 years to go buy a house because I got to have that 2 years of income. So like I just figured I'd start that up and get that going. But no, that's been going good. A lot of it is just because of the fact that like when I was younger, there wasn't any pros locally to give me lessons or anything like that. And as a younger kid on 50s, like I looked up to the pros, the local pros, even if some of them weren't even racing Supercross, I still looked up to them just because they were the fast guys and I was wanting to be like them. So as soon as I turned pro, I decided like, I'll just do my thing, right? And then I did the lessons, and it took me a little bit to realize it, but like it felt good to give back, I guess you could say, to like give the little kids something to look forward to. And then now with like me racing Supercross, it's even like a better thing, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Because I come home and from like Supercross, I came home a couple of times this year, and like classes were full, with like within an hour of me posting something on signups, classes filled up, right? And every one of the kids, they all said something about Supercross. So it's cool, coming home and being able to give back to the kids locally was cool to me. And not only that, like they all see us, they see, my like people like Ken Roxon, Cooper Webb, Tomac, Faulkner, Bogle, all those dudes, they see them on TV, right? And like, I mean, I'll admit it myself, even up to 6 years ago, I was like, those people aren't fake or aren't real, right? Those are just like robots, right? Well, that people just put on. So it's nice to get on, go race Supercross and then come home so those people can see the guys that I train and everything, see that like we're real people. We're all real people. We all, make moves, make dumb mistakes, whatever it is. Not only that, like I explained the story to them, like just don't ever give up, and you can be exactly where I'm at, because I mean I was at their age one year or one time, and looking up to pros, and watching Supercross on the weekends and everything, and it just all comes down to just not giving up, and that's like the biggest thing that I try to preach to anybody and everybody. It doesn't matter what it is, just don't give up.
Yeah.
But
Are you doing?
no, the lessons have been great.
Is this for kids in your local area, or is it a travel
Yeah,
travel
local.
thing?
No, right now it's just local area. I mean, if I get enough people, for anybody who wants to do something together, I have no issue doing that. I'll come travel. I'll do whatever I need, whatever anybody else wants. But as of right now, everything's just kind of local. Uh, just trying to stay busy doing that, 3 to 4 times a week. Um, but I kind of shied away from the group stuff only
Yeah.
because it's kind of a headache for myself to try to line everything up and try to get everything and make everybody happy. So it's easier just to have them, like if they want a group class, a lot what I've been doing lately is I've had the parents line it up. I said, hey, I need a minimum of 4 riders for a group class. And they said, okay, well, I got 8 guys. Can we do, Albany on Thursday morning? Yep, perfect. See you there. So it's a lot easier like that. I'm real flexible with my schedule. So anything that does happen is usually set up by the parents. I don't usually set things up anymore. I've gotten kind of enough clientele, not enough. I can always use more, obviously, but I got a lot more clientele than I used to where I used to have to set it up and try really hard and push it. I don't have to push it as much now that I got more people coming in and wanting to set things up, which is great. And not only that, they also see the results from the riders. So kind of sells itself, you could say.
Nice. So you got the parents herding the cats for you.
Yeah, exactly. So it's good. I like it.
It's a good setup.
It's fun. Yeah, I like kids. They're a good time. I have a lot of kids. I don't have too many big bikes, but I got a lot of younger kids, and they're a good time.
Are any of them racing?
What do you mean?
Like are
the
any
kids that I train?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, a good majority of them are. I got a couple kids,
Sweet.
like a little Lynx Lacey, Tiger Lacey's son. He's a racer. He's one of my kids, and then I got Liam Aslan. He's another one. I got Ryder Bergemeyer. I got a bunch of kids that are racing that are ripping. I got some kids that this year I went to Loretta's last year for a couple of my guys, Jacob Badgley and Liam. I'd probably do the same. I'm probably going to do the same thing again this year. Both of them probably can make it, and I'll probably have a couple more this year that will make it. So they're all doing good. Just got to keep them on 2 wheels. Stay healthy. keep the dads from freaking out on them.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing lately.
That
drives
dads.
me nuts. But yeah, exactly. The 50 dads. Like, no, stop, simmer down.
That's great. So, that's great, dude. And that's a great motivation for passing it on to the next generation. It's a fantastic story, getting it started and everything like that. Just I'll keep in touch. So if you've got any blasts that you want to put out there for doing promos or anything like that, just send them my way and I'll shoot them out there. I think that's great.
Yeah,
it's very
absolutely.
Very similar to kind of why we're doing this show, which is I wanted to give you guys like a platform where you could be in front of the fans and show them exactly that you are people. You're not just robots that ride motorcycles all day long every day.
Yeah, exactly. No, obviously you see it now lately. Is social media is a great thing, and everybody has one usually now. But you see it. They're all making, they're all making posts and stuff like that. I don't remember who it was, but we all cuss, and little guys, parents, they all think we don't cuss. We all cuss. We all do it. There's no hiding it. You know what I mean? We obviously have to try to keep a professional outlook on things and look professional, but I don't remember who it was the other day that just said something on social media and there's 5 words and there's a cuss word in there. We're not robots. We're not perfect. We're here. We're human, and I love it. Anytime I see even Roxon, Tomac, Webb, whatever it is, anytime I see them cuss, Anderson's another one, it just brings a smile to my face because it's look, perfect. I love it.
Yeah.
Just give it to them because they want it. You know what I mean? So it's cool. And then not only that, we're all golfing now, which is a blast. We're all doing things outside of it. So
yeah, I've noticed that there's been this big trend of everybody getting out on the golf course. Are you guys are you golfing with is that something you partake in too?
Yeah, I actually probably hopefully the doctors don't see this. I've been golfing for the last 2 weeks. So yeah, I've been going for the last 2 weeks now. But I was golfing before. I went golfing when I was in Oklahoma. I went quite a bit with Austin's dad, Faulkner, Mike Faulkner. I was golfing quite a bit with him. Benny Bloss. I was trying to get we're going to go golfing in Florida at Cocoa Beach when we were in Florida. Just the weather took a shit on us. So, but no, it's something that like, I don't know. I think I picked it up right before, like probably right after maybe. No, it was like April, I want to say, last year. Levi Kitchen and I were home and we're like, dude, let's go do something. So we just said, all right, let's go rent some clubs from somewhere, and that's kind of where it all started. It was like Canvas Meadows. And I think the reason we chose Canvas Meadows, honestly, is because I train a kid and his dad's like the manager there. So I'm like, hey, like I know the manager here, let's go. He'll help us out. He'll give us like a range tickets, tokens, and we can hit the range and then we hit the 18. He goes, yeah, let's do it. So that's, I think, where it all started. Kind of was like Levi and I. I'm not saying we all started the whole trend, but like Levi and I went and had a blast, and then like it's been a good time ever since. And like, I mean, well, the whole season I had my clubs with me. I think everywhere I went, just in case I found some time to go do it. But no, I mean, obviously you see everybody's doing it. Lawrence is doing it. Craig's out. Craig's even got his kid out there doing it. I think it's just another escape from moto,
Yeah.
something enjoyable that anybody and everybody can do. And moto people are super competitive and we all like to be good at things. It doesn't matter what it is. We like to be good at it. So I think when you throw some dudes into golf that aren't good at it, moto guys, I think when you throw us into it and we all like are shooting like 5 over and we're like, no, this isn't okay. I got to get better. I think that's why a lot of us continue to do it, is because it's fun. It's relaxing, and it's like a good time with your friends.
Right.
We all suck. I mean, I bet you there's not any of us that are shooting below pars. So we just do it for a good time, and like I said, it's something else to do.
Yeah. It seems like it's exactly the opposite of moto too. Like you're in a quiet environment. It's still competitive, but you don't have as big of an issue with like injuries, not nearly the issue with injuries. So you're not like putting yourself at risk or anything like that. It just seems like a perfect place for you guys where you're like, all right, I've been riding my bike all week long. I still want to do something fun and competitive, but I don't want to put myself at risk. Seems like golf is like the perfect thing to do that, to fill your time with.
Yeah, no, it is. It's fun. And I mean, just to golf 9 holes is usually like 2.5 hours, so it's extremely time consuming. It makes time pass extremely fast just because you're having a good time, but it's also, like we're getting that adrenaline rush, like, oh gosh, can we hit the ball straight, or we're just laughing our asses off because the ball's going everywhere other than straight where it's supposed to go. So for me personally, maybe I shouldn't speak for everybody else, but no, it's a good time. It's a really good time. Another one of those things that like I just went with my girlfriend the other day was tennis. I've never done tennis, never played it, nothing. Like we just went and bought a couple rackets and went and played tennis. And another thing that's just like kind of enjoyable. That's a little more exercise. Not a huge fan of that, but it was fun just to do something different. I think COVID obviously took a big hit on us, on everybody, but also I think it made everybody be a lot more active and a lot of positive things to take out of it, I think. So golf, tennis, just doing everything. I mean, obviously, look at the moto community. It's almost doubled, almost tripled, probably from March of last year to now. Like everybody's sold out of things. Like I just texted a couple people of mine. Little Caden BMX kid, his dad asked me for a bike 2 weeks or like 3 months ago, for a 65. I was like, dude, there's nothing. Sorry, until 22s. So
Yep.
I just told him, I said, make sure you get your name on the list. They're gonna go quick, and they all go quick, and everything's back ordered, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's something that Doug and I talk about pretty frequently.
Yeah, no, it's good. I think it's great. Like the COVID, like obviously it sucks because, like, I mean, I don't want to get into it too much. I personally think it's all like politics, but whatever. I mean, I'm not saying like COVID's fake. I got it, and I got it right before Supercross, but it's
Yeah,
just
I'm a survivor too.
ridiculous on what it's done. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous on what it's done, but it's also like a great thing for it because you see a lot more people outdoors and doing more stuff outdoors, which is great.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
So you've got is this other company yours, or do you just help out with them, the Legacy Custom?
No, so that's mine as well. I got a good buddy actually. Legacy Racewear is one of my best friends. The owner of that, which his name is Justin Haberlock. He hit me up. Actually, it all started because I was trying to get it easy up set up for Supercross this year, and I was like, hey, yo, I'm like, does Legacy Racewear want to help? Pay for half of it, and you guys can have like the main logos on it. And he says, yeah, sure, right? So he obviously deals with the guys over there in China and everything. So we figured out some way to get them to make us one, and they made us one, and it was for like a great price. So I was like,
Oh, Devin, your audio just cut out. Not quite sure what happened there. You want to try Xing out real quick and then coming back into it? All right. All right. So let's see if we can get Devin hooked up with those audio issues. Hopefully this works. Here he is. Get him in. No audio. Weird. Let me see if I got a backup here. Lost audio. Yep. Can you see your audio bouncing on your face over there? Weird. I wonder what happened. Try it. So the little gear at the bottom there. Click on that, and you'll have like your audio input. Try selecting something there. Nope. Oh, his all right. So Devin's network connection, it looks like it dropped. Yeah, he definitely dropped. All right. So we'll hang out here for a couple of minutes, see if we can get him back in. Technical difficulties, man. Technical difficulties. So this is what happens.
hey, no, yeah.
There he is.
There we go.
We got him back.
There we go. I don't know what happened there. I even lost you. Everything froze.
Weird. Solving problems though. These things happen, man.
But anyways, yeah. So he hit me up. He goes, "Let's start." He goes, "I'm gonna start an Easy Up company." I'm like, "Whatever," He goes, "Will you design them?" I said, "Yeah, sure." Right, like whatever you need, I'll help. Because you help me out with the gear and everything. I'll help you out here. Well, then I realized like there's some good money to be made, and I downloaded Adobe Illustrator like a year ago almost, just to kind of play around on it because I've always wanted to like make my own graphics or like design stuff or whatever it is or make flyers or anything it was. And so I just downloaded it. I'm like, whatever, I'll just play with it. And then here we are now and just doing all his the canopy stuff. Not a lot of it is like, it's not a lot of design. Like I'm not doing anything crazy. A lot of the times people just want a black or a solid color with some logo placement, right? But that's whatever it was. But anyways, started out as just like a partnership, like just me helping him out, and then he started it, and then I said, hey, I'll pay for the website, I'll pay for the business license and everything like that, and make this all legit. I want, 50% of it or 40% of it or whatever it was. He says, all right, deal. So I own half of that, and then this month's just been crazy. We've had we probably matched this month our income, our sales this month already. So what are we at? That's the 20th. In 20
Yeah.
days, we've matched the same. Like we've almost doubled, if not tripled, our sales that we've ever had, which is great. We actually got a sale going on right now, 20% off anything that's on the website or on the that Legacy Custom Canopies offers. We offer like just canopies, walls, flags, half walls, table covers, pretty much anything advertisement, like even the big old blow up dancing dolls that you see on the side, like most car lots have. We can do those. The big old arches that marathons have, we do those. The monster cans that you see at like Supercross or whatever it is, Red Bull arches, we can do all that. Anything like that we can do. So it's been fun. Not only just doing it, but like learning a lot of the business side of that, which has been a good thing, And I like talking to people, helping people out as much as I can, especially the guys that help me out. One of those guys, you scratch mine, I scratch yours type deal. So there's been some dudes that have hit me up and like, hey, like how much for this? Like, sure, I'll just give it to you cost. You help me out. Um, so yeah, but it's been fun, been real fun. And
It's cool.
now I'm like, he lost his design guy for his gear. Like right when I joined him for gear wise, it was like a year ago. Um, he lost his design guy, and here we are now. I think I'm gonna probably design gear for him, which is I don't care, but it was never something like I never looked at it as trying to make money. And like for this gear stuff, I honestly I probably won't even charge him because he helps me out so much with gear, you know. So I'm not going to charge him to design gear for me. But it's not the gear ain't for me; it's for everybody else mainly.
Right.
Um, I mean, shoot, this year I had all custom stuff that was just all one-off stuff for me. So obviously the gear ain't just for me; it's for everybody else that I'm designing for.
Right. That's
So
cool
it's
though.
been a good time.
Thinking outside the box and getting into the design stuff. How do you enjoy the design stuff?
Yeah, no, it's fun. I really enjoy it. Like, and the only reason like he's even said anything about the gear is because I got bored, and I'm not somebody that can just like not an artist by any means. I have like cool ideas here and there. Like the Strider Strider's name, that was me. Nobody like trained a lot of little kids, right? Well, what's every little kid start on nowadays? It's a Strider. And then they go from a Strider, they go straight to a dirt bike. Well, what's a dirt bike? They're riders, right? So just it's little nicks like that. Like it's like I enjoy that stuff. So the whole gear thing was like just me playing around. I mean, we were doing the easy up stuff, and then I had him send me the gear that I had gotten custom made this year because I wanted to put logos where I wanted it and everything like that. And I didn't want to have to go back and forth with the design guy. So I just had the guy send it to me and then I sent it back. Um, and then it was the easy ups. And then I was like, you know what? I want to get better at this because it's fun. I enjoy it. I did a lot of computer stuff in school, like computer automotive machining, CAD CAM in high school. I really enjoyed that and like drawing and making stuff and out of metal, wood, whatever it was. Uh, so I was just like, there's only so much I could figure out on a easy up, right? Well, like there's a bunch of different cut paths and everything like that. Gear's got a bunch of different little panels that need work on. So I just got on there and just started playing around, and it was just enjoyable. I only reason I did it was to get better at it, to have fun at it. So it was never any idea to helping design gear for him. It's just mainly for me, just because I'm bored. It's not even that I was bored. I just wanted to get better at it because it's enjoyable, especially when I just sit here at home. Like last night, my girlfriend got mad at me because I just sat on the computer for 3 hours and designed a set of gear, so not, and he's never once asked me for like a design. I just do it because it's fun.
Right.
But it's all
So
right.
have you,
It's all fun.
so I'm also a design guy by trade. Have you
Okay.
gone outside of Adobe Illustrator at all? You tried any other tools?
No, so like I said, I did a lot of stuff in high school. But
Okay.
that's also not like, that was for like Rhino, Mastercam, SolidWorks. Those are all like those are all for like computer stuff that are you're building stuff out of, out of metal or like set up for machines. I designed some stuff in that, and it was like, honestly, it was a lot better on like Rhino or Mastercam in those, but than I am on Adobe. But no, I have not. What else? I didn't know there's much more.
Yeah,
Really, like
there's
for
a
that.
lot of stuff out there, but so you're doing a lot of your own social media stuff. One thing, if you enjoy design, one thing that I'd recommend trying out is this website called canva.com, canva.com. It's basically like Illustrator or Photoshop, but it's like in a browser, and they give you tons of like templates that you can just kind of take in, pop in your colors, move stuff around really quick, and you can pop out social media posts for like promo stuff like really, really quick.
Okay, yeah, because it takes me a little bit because obviously you see the Striders Rider stuff. Um, it doesn't take me near as long as it used to, uh, but it takes me a little bit, to make something just on there because a lot of times you got to start from scratch and you're just starting with
Right.
a blank canvas. You don't have anything to go off of, or just take a photo and I try to do something off of that. But um, I don't have many photos of myself, or sorry, of any like riders or the kids that I help out. So I'm not going to promote something of myself. I'm not. It's not about me. It's about the riders type deal. So,
Right.
but no, that's good to know. And that there's also a buddy of mine just told me about something else. Let's see. Uh, iStock, I think it is,
Yep.
where you can get a bunch of just like vector files. Did I lose you?
Nope. I don't think so.
Okay.
Am I still here?
I still see you, but I clicked out of that tab that I was in
Oh
just
yeah,
to try to
you're
find
still
the
here.
name. There we go. Okay, but yeah, it's like I think it was iStock or something. But just a bunch of vector files that I can find and pull into the Adobe, which is good. And I just found that out, and then obviously like the font, just for any of that stuff. But
Right.
the fonts, God, that's a pain in the ass. The font's the biggest. That's my biggest problem right now with any of the customers that I have. They all say, "Oh, can you, or like finding files that work, like a vector file." Like they all just send me pictures and like, "Here you go. Here's your logos." No, like, okay, I'll put that logo on, but it's going to be blurry.
Right.
It's going to be pixelated, and you're going to be upset with me. But guess what? That's your file.
Right.
Like you sent me that. So then they all expect me to go find that logo. Like, that's not my job. I'm sorry. I'll design it for you, but I'm not gonna go find a logo for you. I could spend hours looking for logos or even fonts. That's the thing that drives me nuts. Is people want me to find a font. No, I don't know what you like. I'm not gonna look for 2 hours to find a font for you, and you just say no. Here, it's called the font. Tell me what it's named, and I'll get it for you. It's great. It's easy.
Yeah.
You
It's
know. So
the joys of
actually,
working with
we
design
have.
clients, man.
Yeah, it's tough. And then right now, actually, I got a website going. Same guy that did my Striders or Riders page, um, strategic marketing, I think it's called. He's doing my canopies page, and I looked at a bunch of different pages where you can design on it, and it gives you that live image, and that's what I like really wanted. Like, There had a couple clients that I sent probably 30 different proofs to them. And it was just changing little things here and there, swapping logos. Like I was just so over it. And at that point I said, you know what, after like 4 or 5 proofs, it's $10 a proof, and then it was also, it's $10 a logo. You want me to go look for logos? It's $10. If I have them, awesome. Well, you're good. But if I don't have them, I'm not looking for it. But anyways, I have it now. And that was my biggest thing that I wanted on the website was I want to be able to go like kind of like what Canvas Gear has, like what Michael Leap's got going with the gear thing, where you can drag in a logo, you can drag in artwork, you can drag in whatever you want, and it's right there, and you can change everything right in front of your face. You know what I mean? And you'll know exactly what it looks like. So that's exactly what I'm going to have for my website for the canopies. They'll all be able to design exactly what they want. They'll see it, and then boom, and then I'll put everything into place, obviously. But it gives me a better idea. That way, I'm not going back and forth with the customer saying, "This is what you want." No, move here, this, move that there. Oh my gosh, whatever. So that'll be nice.
That's really sweet. Really That's nice. A great idea.
Yeah.
So it's like a drag and drop editor for the canopy.
Yeah, exactly. And then and then they will see what I mean when they want to just drag that JPEG in or the PNG in, and it's just nothing but blurry. They'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And hey, if that's what you want it blurry. You want your little logo that's going to be blown up to 10 feet long, possibly. Hey, if that's what you want. So, but then
you gotta make sure you put a disclaimer on there.
The correct file. Huh?
You got to make sure you put a disclaimer on there. Otherwise, they're going to be calling you saying, "Why is my logo blurry on your editor?"
Hey, that's what the cancellation and the return policy and everything. That's what is in there.
Yeah.
I'm not responsible for the logos you provided. So, then they will when they upload file, like when they upload their images or their logo or whatever it is into that website, it'll download onto my end, and I'll be able to grab it as well. So I don't have to go look for it at that point.
Sweet. It's all in one spot. So, that's a great process, man.
Great. Yeah. Trying to get out of, obviously moto is like a huge part of my life. Has been for 21 years, but there's more to life than moto, and I like to stay in it. I'll always have a dirt bike. I'll always go race them, but I gotta figure something out.
Yeah,
barely making mains, and there ain't much moto or money in moto. So I gotta make it somewhere else.
On the other side too, right?
Exactly. It's enjoyable too.
Yeah.
So, and I don't have to risk it. I can lay in bed. Like yesterday, I laid in bed almost all day, and I think sold like 4 easy ups. It was great. It's like, and they had no idea.
Yeah.
Laid in bed all day, sold 4 easy ups, worked all day almost on my computer. Actually, no, yesterday I had that lesson. I had a lesson at 10 o'clock, but then I came home and worked on my computer for like 4 or 5 hours, and played COD and worked on my computer. It was great. Loved it.
It's not a bad gig, dude. Not a bad gig.
No, it was a good time. But no, I definitely, kind of transfer back into moto, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So what other kind of interests do you have? You seem like a really well-rounded dude. Like you've got the design stuff. You're a competitive athlete, so you jump into the golf stuff when you can't get on the bike. So what other kind of stuff you do?
Through high school, I rode a lot of BMX bikes. Played a lot of sports going through school. I went through public school the whole time. I wrestled for 5 years, football for 6, and then just did track in middle school. And then I broke my knee in freshman summer in 2009. And doctor said hey, if you get hurt or you get hit wrong, because it was right before football started up. Doctor said if you get hit wrong, you could have to have surgery. And at the time I'd never had surgery on anything. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. So I ventured into water polo. I played that. A lot of people think that's pretty gay or whatever, but Like that's so fun. And I was in the best shape I've ever been in my life. If there was like a league outside of like high school, I'd still go do it just because it's a lot of fun. It's hard and it would do nothing but get me back into better shape for motocross because you're constantly swimming. So I did water polo and then kind of took a break on moto from almost all through high school. Like there'd be months where I didn't even ride, or I'd go 3 months and maybe ride once, right? So during that time, I just turned 16 and got a bicycle and I probably had a bicycle that was like worth $2,500, that I couldn't sell for more than $400. So kind of like moto is, Um, but I rode a lot of BMX bikes just at a skate park or like around town, and was a kid, lived that normal kid's lifestyle. And then I got did bowling actually as well through high school, just because I had nothing else to do. I grew up in a small town, Longview, Washington. Wasn't much to do other than drugs, and being a kid that's never smoked weed or been drunk, wasn't something I was going to do because of moto.
Gotcha.
So no, yeah. Oh, fishing's another one that I've picked up lately. Like a girlfriend and I. So I was fishing a little bit before I left last year, like kind of right there at COVID, right before COVID. Um, just fish, like not any kind of fisherman at all. Couldn't tell you what to use, how to do it, nothing. I just enjoy going with friends, and it's similar to golf. Just sit there and bullshit, and talk crap to each other. Um, but that's another thing that I just enjoy doing now. At Raynard's, he's got a pond. And it's got bluegill in it and bass, and we just sit there and go do motos, and then the girlfriend and I would go back and fish. And she never caught a fish before, and she would she just loved it. It was so cool seeing it, because she'd never caught one before. And then when she caught her first one, she was just addicted. She would just look at me after moto, and she'd say fishy, and we just go fishing. We just sit there for hours, and just relax and have fun, because there's no stress at that point other than like
Yeah.
just getting pissed off because like can't catch anything, or because the fish just keep eating our worms. But other than that, it's fun.
So yeah, that's a great time. So it's more about just sitting there and enjoying the time rather than trying to get a fish on the hook.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get frustrated if I don't get fish, don't get me wrong, but it's just the time being spent, I guess you could say,
Gotcha. So what caused the hiatus in high school for moto?
Gosh, I don't know. Honestly, probably my dad. He said, I mean, like I said earlier in the interview, I've never had that self motivation for moto. Never. I mean, I went to the Loretta's a bunch, never did anything right, and like, but obviously the sport's elevated quite a bit lately. Like the kids nowadays, like I see Deegan, and like even like kids on 85s, 65s, they're all out there doing gym stuff. I'm like, dude, you're killing me. Like you're gonna burn yourself out. Not why I didn't do it back in the day. I didn't do it because I'm lazy, plain and simple. I got no issue admitting it. Still am. But just my dad said, you know what? I'm putting 110% effort into this, and you're putting 50% in. The 50% in that you're putting in is when you're on a dirt bike. You're giving 100% when you're at the track and you're on a dirt bike. But when you're not at the track, you're not giving it anything. So you're only giving 50%. I'm not going to give 110, and you give it 50 and take days off for you to go out and get beat because you're tired or whatever the situation is. He says, I'm not going to help you out. I'm not paying for it. I'm done doing all this until you show me effort. And I was like, whatever. And then that was that. And that was pretty much like the end of it, really. Like I said, it was once every 3 months, maybe 2 months, and then 2012, I hit the ground quite a bit. Got a 450. That was the last bike he bought me, was a 450, and I hit the ground a lot. And I was just kind of over it, and he didn't do anything with it, and I didn't do anything with it. And then we got in a blowout, and I kind of just moved out. and then moved out, and it was like probably like 45 minutes south of him, right next to a guy that has been in the sport for a long time. James Hansen used to live with them. That's the reason I moved down there. Is James was down there. Uh, Joe Munifo, U of MX, I guess you could say. They're probably like the only reason I got back into it is because they said, "Hey, I'll help you out. Like, you know, here's a house right here next to me. You can rent it out, and I'll get you a job." I'm like, perfect. So everything that kind of fell into place, and then local shop Bent Lever helped me out as well. And that was just kind of the start back up into it. I guess you could say, like, I moved out of my parents' house and got my dad kind of out of the photo. He was a 50 parent. He was yelling, and that's why I don't do the whole 50 parent yelling thing, and I don't like it with the kids that I train, is because that was what my dad was, and I wasn't about that. And it burnt it out of me. There's not. I didn't want to do it. I'm not going to get yelled at for what riding a dirt bike.
Right.
So moved out and came down here, and they just helped me out quite a bit. And then in 15, I think it was, I bought my first dirt bike, a YZ250, and then I was helping out. I was around Preston basically quite a bit, and I saw his dad, Don, basically, and his dad's just a gnarly dude. Like, that dude's one bad dude on a dirt bike. He's done Erzberg a bunch. He won like the King of Hammers, I think, a couple years ago. Like, he had a 15-minute head start and still beat like Haker, Webb, all those dudes at the King of the Hammers. Like, the dude is a badass on a dirt bike. I think he's 56 now, and like at the time he was younger, right? And I just told myself, like, when I say younger, I mean like this was like 3-4 years ago. I said, like, I don't want to be his age and kick myself in the ass and regret not trying to get an outdoor license or Supercross license, right? So at first it's like, you know what, I'm going to go get my outdoor license. And so I just bought a 252 stroke because I couldn't ride a 450. It'd just throw me on the ground every time. So I bought a 252 stroke and raced locally everywhere, and ended up earning my pro points for that. And it was never a Preston's like a little brother to me. I love that kid. But it was never a thing to go race Supercross. Like, I've always been better at arena cross style stuff, especially on little bikes, but Supercross has always been like gnarly. Like, that's just not something that I ever wanted to do just because it was gnarly. I didn't want to get hurt. And then I got my outdoor license. I raced an outdoor in 16, and I was like, you know what? Again, I don't want to kick myself in the ass when I'm 50 years old and say, I wish I would have done this. A lot of it was because of what Don, at the time, I was at Don's house more than I was at my house. I mean, I call Don dad and Sydney mom. Like, that's mom and dad, and Preston's a brother. But I was at their house more than mine, eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner there almost all the time, just because I was around them, and seeing Don be the badass that he is kind of just made me want to make sure that I wasn't going to regret anything. So like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go get my Supercross license. Preston was going to do the arena cross stuff. I'll throw a bike in with him. So I traded my 252 stroke in, went and got a Suzuki 250F, and went into the arena cross. And the first one, I didn't even make night show at the first one, actually. And then but I was sick that whole day before and everything. Second round was Selena's, and I went and podiumed. I was like, oh wow, So like, okay, maybe I can do this. I had a lot of doubt in myself, and I'm not sure why. I just had a lot of doubt in myself, and then ended up got my Supercross points and everything like that in the same year. And that, within 4 rounds, I think it was. And then ended up going back and getting hurt in that same year in Europe. And then I was like, well, that sucks, because I wanted to race Supercross in 17, but I wasn't able to. I had to take all of 17 off and 18. 18, so yeah, 17, I took all of that off. And then 18, I wanted to go race it as well. But, Dad still wasn't in the photo. And I couldn't wasn't expecting anybody else to pay for anything, you know. And I wasn't doing the lessons as much, you know. So the money just wasn't there. I was actually back working a normal job, working for CFP Construction, just pouring concrete. And a good friend of mine, Jared Stanky, called me and says, "Hey,
We lost your audio again, Dev. Sorry, dude. Well, we're gonna wait for Devin to hop back in here, see if we can get his audio going up and going.
there
we go. Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, so yeah, Stanky called me and said $2,000 for everything for arena cross. I was like, yeah, sold, done, I'll do it. So I did arena cross with him, and I had 4 hours on the bike before Dayton, Ohio, in 18 in a year. So I was like, oh boy, here we go, you know. And that was that. And then finish out the season. And the main goal was just to, I mean, it wasn't even like, obviously we all want to make mains, but at the end of the day, like, I just wanted to get through the season healthy and be able to make it a full season and not get hurt, you know. I'd just gotten off the bike, or off a bad injury, and the last 4 out of 5 times that I'd rode, I like gotten hurt. So I just needed to get through the season healthy, and that was it. And then that finished that, and then I was like, you know what, I want to do Supercross. So I went and got a Supercross license and everything like that. And again, I had huge doubts in myself, because like I said, Supercross was something that I never wanted to do, and I got my ass handed to me on outdoors. I'm not a very good outdoor rider, but like, I'm gonna go race Supercross in A1. So I left my parents' house, or I left my house in 19 in December, and went down south. You know, did everything I could to work, save some money and everything like that, and went and down to California and did that whole experience solo. You know, and A1, I was nervous. Like, I didn't even think I was going to make night show. I was like, oh, fuck, it would be lucky to make night show. I was talking to Daniel Blair. I was like, dude, can you help me out at all? Like, what can I do here? I don't have any idea what to do. What do I do? He goes, just work on sprint laps. And that's what I did. And I think I qualified 22nd. Like the first in free practice, I taught free practice, which I was like just blown away at. Like, you know what? They're just out there cruising. They're not trying, right? So like, again, I was just beating myself up again and went out, and first time qualifying, I was second in the B practice. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, are these dudes trying? You know, like, these guys have all done this. And like, I just sat here and I watched TV for the last 3 years, watching the same guys that I'm riding with. Like, why? Like, what's going on here, right? And it took me until like after that first round, where I got 5th in the LCQ and passed up to 5th, to realize like, okay, maybe I can do this, you know. And then the second round, I made my first main at Glendale, and I was just blown away. Just because, like I said, is after so much doubt and so much stuff like has gone on, like my injury in 17 and 16, laying on the track, not being able to move my leg at all, it was dislocated and everything. I was like, oh my God, I just thought, like, when I was on the track, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna even be able to walk again. This thing's screwed. To then make my first main 3 years later, felt great. It was a good feeling, you know. Started to believe a lot more.
That's a journey, dude. That is a journey.
Yeah. No, it was. It's been a long one, but I mean, and then, I mean, I had my issues last year in 19 or 20, but it's going, you know. It's all part of it.
Yeah, it's all part of the journey, you know, on and off the track. It's all part of the journey.
Yeah.
Doug was actually the one that like I've seen your name obviously over the past couple of years, but Doug was the one that really made me start paying attention to you. Earlier on in the season, I don't remember. It was during one of the couch crosses. So we do this thing called couch cross where basically we live stream a bunch of us watching the races, and then people like come and hang out, watch the races with us. And Doug mentioned you in the in one of the heats, and and then that's kind of where we started kind of tracking your progress from that point on. So it's unfortunate. Oh, there he goes. Doug says it was Indy 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say Indy. Because I think I met Doug at Indy 2 or Indy 1 or 2. Here, hold on one moment. I gotta go get my charger. It's gonna die.
Yeah, go for it, man. All right, so for those of you listening on audio, Devin is just going to grab his charger. For those of you watching here live on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and drop your questions for Devin in the comment section. And when we are done with our conversation, we will circle back and go through any questions that you guys have for him. Cool.
All right. Yep, we're good. But yeah, no, Indy
Sweet.
thing I think was the first time or second time I met Doug. And it was cool. Like, I mean, I reach out to sponsors, right? I try to get sponsors every year. And it's one thing to reach out and, ask for a product or whatever it is. But I don't almost all my sponsors that I have, a lot of them are local. But I have them local because I can have a relationship with them. Like, it's more than just a sponsorship. I'd rather have a relationship with somebody than just asking for free product. Like, I don't care about that. Like, let's be friends. Like, I mean, I talk to Austin Patton probably once or twice a month, from Recluse. Shuey, I've been talking to Matthias now like a couple times a week. Duvall, Legacies, like I said, pretty much all my sponsors I have a good relationship with. So when I met Doug, it was cool because like I wanted to meet him in person, have a relationship with him. We don't talk a whole lot, obviously, but it's nice because I've met him in person. We've had a conversation, he's just, I don't know where you guys are at. Where are you guys at?
So I'm in Rhode Island. Doug's in Ohio.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys are ways away. It's not, but no, it's just nice to be able to put a name to a face and, have a little bit of a relationship other than just over email or,
right.
Over the phone. Yeah.
He's a good dude. And it's a small industry as I'm new to the industry. So, I'm like brand new. I'm just starting to talk to some of you guys in the industry now. But I'm finding out more and more. It's a very, very small group of people, and they all know each other.
Yeah, exactly. We all know each other. Like, it's tough because you don't want to burn bridges.
Right.
Because it is a very small grid. It is a very small area. But I like it that way. I don't hang out with anybody here at home. Like, I got 2 friends that I hang out with. It's not like I'm hanging out with 30 dudes. I like it that way. But
yeah.
Anyways, back to what you were saying about the couch racing thing.
Yeah. So, I was just saying that's kind of when you came up on my radar. Like, I've been watching Supercross basically my entire life, basically. So that's not a new thing for me, but just watching it with other people it's a cool experience. And then they can point things out to me that I don't notice myself. And you happen to be one of those people. And I'm thankful for it too, because I watched you from that point out and, all the way up until the injury happened. So that was all I was mentioning there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, it's fun. It's been fun. I think I had some good success this year. Not as much as I would have liked, but I just wish I could get off the gate. If I could get off the gate, I'd be a lot better off. Yeah. But I think that's everybody.
Start cross. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially
So,
this year. It's tough.
yeah, there's the tracks were weird this year. I feel like they put no thought into passing opportunities whatsoever.
No, not at all. Not at
Nice.
all. It was, I don't know.
So
They're
what do
just
you
so
think about
fast.
the difference between the arenas and doing them at the speedways?
Ah, see, I don't know. Like, I didn't do Atlanta. So Atlanta was more of a Supercross, right? And I say that because it wasn't going to get the braking bumps. It wasn't going to get the gnarly ruts, the inside ruts and corners. Um, it was more of a Supercross where like Daytona is a outdoor pretty much.
Basically.
And I say that because, yeah, I say that because of how the soil is, right? Um, so I don't know. I mean, I'm probably not the right person to ask about that. I thought it was sick. I thought it was super cool. Um, I don't do outdoors because I don't like going fast. So if they could slow the whole speedway thing down, you know, um, I think it'd be sick. I don't like. We don't need to go fourth, fourth to fifth gear wide open into sand.
Right.
Like, I don't know. This isn't outdoors. This is technical.
Right.
Not about how big of balls you got. It's just, it's how good you are. So, um, but I think they're cool. I just wish they'd slow it down a little bit. It looks like.
Just make it more like Supercross rather than like an
Yeah.
outdoor.
Yeah, and I think they did a good job this year at Atlanta. Like, there's a couple rounds that were pretty good there. But Daytona was. I mean, I watched a couple Daytona rounds. Like Preston and I were watching around. I want to say it was 13. Stuart Villapoto, and like, dude, the track was so much slower, and it was way better racing. You know, um, but I don't know. I'm not a track builder.
Yeah. No,
So
I thought it was interesting. I really hope that they start incorporating more of them. But I do agree with you that
yeah,
you know if they're gonna make it Supercross, they should make it Supercross, not just make it an outdoor race during the Supercross series.
yeah, exactly. And like I saw a bunch of people saying get rid of the sand. Like, no, the sand's like I got no issue with that. Like you don't like the sand. Why? Oh, because you went down. Bummer. Or you got sand in your goggles. Like, sucks to suck. I don't know what to tell you. Um, I had no issue in the sand, so maybe I'm being biased, but I mean, the sand slows it down, when it's in a corner, but when it's in a long straightaway, don't slow it down.
Yeah. I
You know?
personally I like it. I like it when they throw in different textures. It just makes the dynamics of the track more interesting to watch from like a viewer
Yeah,
perspective.
absolutely.
Well, cool. Hey, let's wrap this up, and I'm gonna finish it up with a quick question for you, and that is, who is your favorite rider of all time, and why?
God, I don't know. I mean, Stewart probably.
Okay.
It's tough. Like, it's either James or Webb. Like, Webb's like, I mean, I with the dude every weekend, right? I don't. He's not one of those dudes that I go and conversate with like I do with Austin or Benny. Um, but like, just Stewart's like pure talent. Like, how well he is on a dirt bike, is like just amazing. I literally sit here like anytime I see videos with him in it, like from throwbacks, races or whatever it is, I watch them. Whether it's 30 minutes long or 5 minutes long, it doesn't matter. I still watch it. I just love watching that dude ride. He's got so much skill, and like now that I race Supercross, um, and I know after hearing it from Rob, like what I do wrong, like I watch and analyze what they're doing as well to try to help me out. I mean, they all watch video. They do it for themselves as well to watch and see what they're doing wrong. So Stewart for sure, but Webb's also like I mean, he's probably one of my favorite riders ever. Just because of how like where he's at. Like that dude is like I don't think there's anybody mentally more tough than he is. And that's like that takes a lot to do is to be like Webb. I mean, a lot of people don't like him because they say he's cocky. There's a difference from being cocky and confident. He's confident. He ain't cocky. It's confident. Like people used to say I was cocky. It's not that I'm cocky. I'm confident. Like I'll be able to go and back up what I'm saying. I'm not just sitting here running my mouth and not being able to back it up. And Webb can do that. Yeah, there's times where he does some things that like the whole Webb Roxon thing is like the Reed and Stewart thing. I love it. I'm a huge fan of both those dudes. I would have loved to see Roxon get the title this year, but I like that. I like how Webb did it. But no, I'd probably mix up between Stewart and Webb. Those two are like just heroes to me. I mean, I don't, Stanky used to give me shit for it. I don't know a whole lot. Like I didn't pay attention back in the day in moto. Like even Raynard, like I don't even know I don't even think I watched him back in the day. I don't Bradshaw, like those dudes are people that I've never really watched. Like I don't even know if I was watching Supercross at the time when McGrath was racing. Maybe right his last couple of races, but I don't have the whole like the history down on moto like everybody thinks I probably do. I'd rather go outside and go do something and sit on a computer and look up the history about these dudes. So, but
Absolutely, I totally get that. Those are two great choices, though. I mean, Stewart. I saw Stewart for the first time in person at Unadilla in like 2003, I guess, somewhere around there. It was when he first moved up to the 250 class, and he was riding against Carmichael for the first time at Unadilla, and it was just a shootout. Like the two of them were like 45 seconds up on the rest of the crew and just passing each other back and forth till they actually came together with like 2 or 3 laps to go, and Carmichael ended up crashing out. But so I would definitely that's a solid choice in my book, and I think Webb is an absolute mental giant. I completely agree with you on that one.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever going to be anybody ever, I guess, mentally strong as he is. Like that dude, he can do anything if he puts his mind to it. I feel like the dude's just the most badass dude there is, I think, on a dirt bike. And it's crazy because he's so small. He's just so good.
Yeah. He's the his. It would be pretty funny to see what he looks like to himself inside of his head. It's probably the exact opposite of what he actually is as a physical person.
Yeah, probably thinks he's as tall as Benny Bloss.
Yeah, he's like 9 feet tall. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, all right, so let's jump into the chats real quick and see if there's anything in here you want to cover a little bit more. I saw a couple of questions.
Yeah.
One of them was Coda asks, how is McAdoo in person if you've met him?
I've never, I don't have any, I've never had any conversations with him or anything like that. I mean, like we pass each other, or like I'll be talking to Austin, in the semi, or not in the semi, but with him at the semi, and like we'll just nod our heads at each other. We don't have any beef or anything like that. He seems cool. He gained a lot of my respect from obviously Atlanta. Like if you didn't have respect gained for McAdoo then at Atlanta, then I don't know. Like you've never hit the ground, because that dude, like that was obviously like he broke the internet with that, but like that was impressive. The dude's a badass for sure.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know who he is. I don't know. I mean, I know who he is, right? But I don't know who he truly is like I do some. So I imagine he's pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually saw him die in that race. Like,
Oh, I thought he was done.
yeah,
Yeah, I thought game was over. Night night.
yeah, yeah. That was insane, insane, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that was the only question that we got on the live stream. So,
Yeah.
so if there's anything else you want to cover before we wrap this up, shout outs, anything like that.
Yeah, no, that was just thinking that. Oh, probably anybody that wants to know, I guess. If I'll do outdoors, I am probably going to do outdoors as much as I hate them. I'd rather put my head through a trailer door, which I've tried to do. In 2012, I hit a trailer. Uh, anyways, so I'm going to do, I'll send you a photo of that. In 2012, so I had some good success this year in Supercross. It looked like the other day I was sitting with a national number 83. That's been a lifelong goal of mine, is just get a national number.
Sweet.
I told myself in 19 was the last year I was doing nationals. Did Washougal, I went 21, 27 or something like that. I was done. I told myself I'll never do another national, but at the same time, here we are again, 2 years later, and I don't want to be 50 years old and say, damn, I wish I would have scored 1 point in outdoors. So I'm gonna give her a go this year. Probably, if I can get back on the bike, I'm gonna try to do Washougal, and at that point, I'm gonna try to figure out how I can get the rest done, like the last 6 of them done. Do the last 6 of that. So if anybody wants to help me out, you could get your name on the helmet or the bike or whatever it is. But anyways, no. So I just like to thank everybody else that has helped me throughout the years. Not only throughout the years, but especially this year. Motorsport Hillsboro, Fusion Graphics, Duvall, Legacy Gear, Recluse, Shuey, Meet and Doug. At Sunstar this year. Pete, the seat at Traction MX, Spec Bolts, Twisted, Jamie at Twisted Development. He was a huge help this year. Robbie Raynard this year not just this year, but last year as well. Just helped me out through everything, helped me with all my stuff that I can do and everything off the bike and everything. Gosh, I'm sure there's more. Chris Masick for doing all my powder coating and everything like that. They helped me out quite a bit with some goggles and everything like that. But anybody else I forgot, not only that, but everybody else that's helped me get to this point in the past.
It's a team sport,
my girlfriend
man.
for sticking out with. Yeah, exactly. And then my girlfriend for sticking out with me this year. She was actually on the road with me the whole season, which has been like a dream come true. So that was fun. She helped me quite a bit, actually. She did all my food for me, helped me with laundry, did everything she could, and that was extremely helpful. So that was nice.
Good on her, man. That's great. That's a great support system. Great support system.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. Thanks for coming on, and please keep in touch. Like I said, if you've got anything you want to like blast out there, just let me know, and we'll throw it out to the internet places for you. And
absolutely,
if you're doing the outdoor stuff, I'm going to try to get out to a couple of rounds. So I'll keep in touch too and see if we can run into each other at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. You're in Rhode Island, you said.
Yeah.
What's the closest one for you? Probably Unadilla.
Unadilla or Southwick. I'm probably going to go to both of them.
Yes, I'll probably be at Unadilla. If everything goes as planned, I'd probably like to hit Unadilla. But yeah, absolutely. So, and then hey, if anybody needs an easy up, we only do custom stuff, so can't get you like a black one. It's going to cost you the same as a custom one. So if anybody needs anything like that, let me know.
Yeah, man. Hey, send me some graphics and some easy up stuff, and we'll blast your stuff up on the podcast. We'll throw you up there as one of the partners.
Okay. Do you want what do you want, like photos, or do you want
anything you got? Anything you got?
Okay. Cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no worries, dude.
Cool. Thank you guys.
Thanks, dude. And I will I'll catch up with you. I I don't know. I'll see you when I see you. I really appreciate the time.
Yeah, we'll see you. We'll keep in touch. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. I appreciate this.
Peace.
Take care.
All right, you guys, that was Devin Harriman. He was in the house with me. Thanks for hanging out today on this Thursday afternoon. This was the inaugural episode of the Jong with Jesse segment on the Power to the Ground Motorsports Media Network. Working on the next episode of this segment. So keep an eye out there. I will let you know on the Facebook as soon as we get somebody booked for it. But it was fun for me. Hopefully it was fun for you. I thought it was a good conversation. Hopefully Devin enjoyed himself, and I will keep in touch with him. So I will see you guys next time on John with Jesse on the Power to the Ground Motorsports Media Network. Don't forget to check out all of our partners. Go check out all of the stuff that Devin was talking about as well with the Striders, Striders to Riders and the Legacy Custom Canopies. And obviously our partners, Nova Pro Media at novapro.media, Bro Taco Foods at brotacofoods.com. Use coupon code PTTG for 20% off, and Sunstar Sprockets and Chains. Go to Sunstar dash, let's see, what is it? Hang on. Sorry, Doug. Throw it up there. Sunstar-breaking.com. Hit up the email support. Mention anything about Power to the Ground, and Doug will hook you up with the 30% off. And that's all we got. I will see you guys next.